Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Road to 180, which is my fitness journey from 240 pounds going all the way down to 180 pounds as quickly as possible. So if you're new to this series, or if you just want a quick little refresher, as always, I will post a little recap of the rules right on the screen here. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. Last episode, I was on vacation and I had mentioned that I was going to be doing a refeed day on the Sunday. So usually that's my weigh-in day. So I weighed in, did my refeed day, and I was a little bit prescient. I had mentioned that I might end up paying for it later down the week, and lo and behold, I have. I've weighed in as of this beautiful Sunday morning at 209.8 pounds, which is a 1 pound increase from last week. So it's not ideal. However, we are still, we're still at a net 30-pound loss, which is, again, all things considered, we're 12 weeks in. That's pretty decent. Obviously, it's not the direction that we want it to go in. However, again, as long as we stick to the plan, we're going to keep it going regardless. So as always, I will post the progress picture on the screen in comparison to my original one. Again, broken record time, you're probably not going to see a whole lot of difference. I am noticing a little bit more size, I guess, in my delts and in my pectoral muscle inserts, which is nice. At the same time, though, again, I'm just really eager to see what it's going to look like sub 200. So that's why we really need to dial in these next few weeks to get there as fast as possible. What did I eat this week? So obviously for my refeed day, I kind of went overboard. I went out to eat. I had a nice bowl of ramen. I had some chicken wings. We went to a Korean barbecue spot. Washed all that down with some beer. So very carb heavy. Usually that's not quite what I have been eating, but ever since I've been back, again, it's mostly been that chuck roll steaks, a lot of eggs that I have to eat. And then for this week coming up, it's going to be essentially just ground beef and eggs, maybe some honey, and I don't know, maybe some Jell-O in there if we can afford it. But it's going to be for the next 2 or 3 weeks. Well, actually, I would say probably the next 4 or 5. Really, it's going to be no refeeds. We're gonna dial it in. We're gonna dial it in heavy, and I don't necessarily think that I'm going to be refeeding until the end, because every refeed that I've done has essentially slowed progress, if that makes sense. So yeah, I can push through without it, and like it says in the rules, we're trying to get this done as quickly as possible. So yeah, it's only going to hold me back further. Update on my workouts. So I'll post those on the screen right here. A lot of stuff is holding. I'm very surprised that my incline bench is holding. But at the same time, my dips are progressing. My overhead press for my shoulders is progressing. My back is actually progressing fairly well. With the, my dumbbell curls are going really well. My lat pull downs and my cable rows are doing very well. And then for my legs, of course, they're pretty much holding as well. I'm really feeling the lack of calories in this. I think right now I'm sort of in maintenance mode, trying to maintain what I've got. I also have started adding in a cardio day. So essentially, on my quote-unquote rest days, I'll still be in the gym and I'll do about an hour on the exercise bike, try to burn 500-600 calories on there, just so that way, again, I have something to do. It's nice to keep my mind clear, and I think my mind is kind of changing with regards to cardio. Obviously, lifting is still my first love, but yeah, I think it's just gonna more calories burned is never going to hurt anybody. It's probably going to make me a little bit hungrier, but I think I can deal with it. And who knows, I might actually start implementing 2-a-days if we want to get this done really quickly, but that remains to be seen. Just given the amount of food that I'm eating, which is not a whole lot, I don't necessarily think it's feasible, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So the general thoughts on the journey. Well, it's week 12, so week 12 is done essentially. So we've got it's obviously I'm not as chipper today because I did weigh in a pound heavier, but again, we have to take the positives. The net weight loss is still there. It wasn't something astronomical. I think if I'd weighed in, at 211 pounds, I probably would have, I would have been pretty upset. But again, we know what we have to do to fix it. The no refeed day that I did mention is going to be a huge factor, just because, again, I actually, spiraling off this, a quick little tangent. I did a little calculation of how many over the past almost 2 years that I've been doing this, what percentage of the year that I've been in a caloric deficit. And for about 80% of the past 2 years, I've been in a caloric deficit, which is a really, really long time. So again, the light is at the end of the tunnel. Hopefully I don't have to do this ever again. So we still have 30 pounds to go, 30 pounds or so to go. If we can keep up with the rate of losing 2.5 pounds or hopefully even 3 pounds a week, then we're going to be done this in 10 to 12 weeks. Really want it to be done within that time frame. So we're going to have to buckle down. Next 10 weeks is going to be crucial. And we're just going to have to go beast mode with it. We are going to have to, put it on rails, no more fucking around, and get it going, because and then after those 10 weeks we'll see how far we got, because I don't want to be doing this shit forever. If any of you have ever done a caloric deficit for an extended period of time as well, it is not fun. It's enjoyable to a certain extent because it's a challenge, but at the same time, if you're constantly in that sort of cycle, if you're not, properly fed, I guess, it can weigh on you typically. But I take comfort in the fact that I've come a very long way, and I also take comfort in the fact that, again, 10 weeks is essentially what's 10 weeks in comparison to 63. So again, we'll keep it going. Choices have consequences, as my parents always used to say, but we keep it going. Let's make some good choices this week. If you found this funny, informative, if you found it entertaining, none of the above or all of the above, please drop a like on the video and a comment down below to share your thoughts, show your support, and consider subscribing as well if you want to see more content like this. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Let's have a great week, and I'll talk to you next week with an update. Take care, everybody.